Hi everyone, I'm back after a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm back with another book video. I am just going to be going over all of my reads from January, and so far in February, it is February 22nd, so we're nearing the end. And do a little bit of a reading vlog because I did just pick up Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. I just started it. I'm only on page 18, so not too far into this one. I'm kind of in the mood for sadder books, and you'll find out why when I go over what I have read so far of this year, but I just figured I would pick this one up. It's been on my TBR for forever, so I'm kind of trying to knock off books that I have on my TBR, like on my physical TBR. I have so many books still, but I'm slowly getting there. So far I've read 6 books this year, which I was in a little bit of a reading slip, so I'm kind of glad that I read that many books so far, because there have been times where I'm like, oh, I really don't want to read, or I'm kind of just being unmotivated and just not really feeling the greatest. So I'm just going to go over my books that I've read so far this year and tell you my rating, and let's get into it. So first I have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I started this in December and then put it down during the holidays, and then after the holidays I picked it back up and finished it. And I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. I actually really loved this book, and I know for some people it goes either way. They either love it or they don't like it as much. I see like a lot of like 3-star ratings, but I really enjoyed this. I read it quite fast when I picked it up again, and I liked the world. Like, it was just so fun and magical. There is a little bit of romance in here. It is YA. Like, if you're looking for something like that, this is a great book. So I highly recommend this. I thoroughly enjoyed it, like I said. Next, I read Done and Dusted by Lyla Sage. This one I was really looking forward to, and I ended up giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I did not like this book. There were so many parts that I just skipped through. Nothing was happening. Romance was like good at some points, but other points I'm like, okay, like this is like a little ridiculous. So yeah, I only gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I skimmed a lot of the like spicier scenes because I'm just not a fan of that personally. I mean, 2 stars mainly for the cover because I love the cover. So I know I said that I wanted Swift and Saddled because that was one of my anticipated reads. I don't think I'll pick that one up now. If anything, I'll buy it for the cover, but I don't think I'll read it. I just did not like it at all. And next, I read Daisy Haites by Jessa Hastings. This was the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I actually did like this one. I did find myself getting a little bored at some points because it is a little bit on the thicker side. I think it was almost 500 pages. I feel like there was a lot of background building, and it was frustrating that they weren't just communicating to each other of how they felt. So that was quite frustrating, but other than that, like, I liked it, and I like the universe, and I look forward to now seeing what's gonna happen next in their story, because now I got the world building out of the way and like the background. I did enjoy it, and I'm excited to continue the series because the last BJ and Magnolia Parks book came out recently. So I still have to pick that one up, but I also have 2 other books to read before I get to that one. Overall, I did like this book, and if you like drama and kind of rich people, and this one has a little bit of like criminal activity, I guess would be the best way, this one was a good one too. And I kind of liked how this one had like different point of views. Like, I don't remember that from Magnolia Parks. I don't think that had different point of views. But there were some parts that kind of confused me, but other than that, it was pretty good. Next I have Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Caraval series, and this one I also really liked. This was about Tella, the other sister. The first book is about Scarlet, and this is about Tella, so it just revolves around the 2 sisters, and this one takes place during a different Caraval than the first book. And you find out so many different things, and so many new characters get introduced. I hear a lot about one character that's in Once Upon a Broken Heart, and he gets introduced into this book. So I'm glad that I'm reading this first and kind of getting the background, and then I'm gonna jump into that series. But this one overall was really good. I breezed through it. Again, if you're looking for a magical world and interesting storyline, like, this is definitely it. And then next I read Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This one, I love Riley Sager, but this one I felt was very slow, and then it had, like, when I was so close to the end, it had an element that I just did not like, so I actually DNF'd this, but I skimmed through to the end, so I kind of like understood what happened. But I still give this one 3 out of 5 stars because I do like Riley Sager and I like his writing and I love his other books. But the element in this book, I just could not, I do not like it at all. So I didn't want to read about it. But this one was okay. It wasn't his best, but it was still okay. And last but not least, I read If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nowlin. This one I just finished the other day, and I binged this. I read it in 2 days. It was actually so good. I loved this book so much. It had me tearing up. I had read If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin, and I gave that one 4 stars. I actually thought I gave it a lower rating, but I gave it 4 stars, and actually came full circle. I read it a year ago. And that one I did enjoy, but it didn't make me cry like a lot of other people. It actually made me order the physical copy of If He Had Been With Me because I read that one on Kindle Unlimited. But now, after reading this, it made me want to go back and reread the first one. And I think a lot of people are a little disappointed in this book, but I liked it because you get some of Finney's point of view, and then you get point of views of other people. His legacy, I guess you could say. And it just makes me feel very nostalgic. Not that I had any situation related to this in my teenage years, but it gives me like a sense of nostalgia, like growing up. And yeah, I don't know, that's the best way I can describe it. But I did really enjoy this one, and I know a lot of people I think are disappointed, but I was one that really enjoyed it. And I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. I can't remember if I said that or not. These are all the books that I've read so far in 2024, so January and February, and hopefully I can finish Adelaide by the end of the month. I only have a couple days left, but this one's a little bit shorter. It's only almost 300 pages, I think. I will update you when I am finished with this book, and I might just continue with some sad books. I don't know. I have A Little Life that's been on my TBR forever, so I might pick that one up too. I think just after reading If Only I Had Told Her, like, that just put me in the mood to read sad books and books that just make me feel something and kind of just think about life, just make me reflect on my own life. And then hopefully I can then pick up the last book in the Caraval trilogy. So I'm gonna just read a little bit more today, and I'll update you guys when I'm all done. Literally only 38 pages in and I'm already crying. and I've decided that I want to annotate this because Genevieve Wheeler's writing is so gorgeous. This book is gonna destroy me, I already know. This one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna hurt so much. I already know. Crazy dark turn, like in the span of 2 pages. If you're going to read this book, definitely look up trigger warnings. There are some pretty upsetting things. Yeah, just look up trigger warnings if you're going to read this book, because again, I'm on page 41 now and it went 0 to 100. Which actually, that reminds me too, like in the prologue, it has themes of depression and mental illness and suicide and things like that. So even like the first page of this book, I definitely, if you do not want to read about that, this is not the book for you, because it does go over very serious topics. I'm back. It's a couple days later and I am officially halfway through Adelaide. It is 10 a.m. so I'm going to try and finish this book. So far it's been really good. I love this author's writing and I think this is her debut novel. Like, I don't think she's written a novel before this. It's definitely got me in my feels. Like, it's making me feel very nostalgic of like past relationships that I've had. It doesn't make me feel good, obviously, but it makes me feel something, so I'm enjoying it. I'm on page 146, and hopefully I can finish it today and give a final rating. I have been annotating it a little bit. Like, there's a couple lines that I highlighted that I just hit me right in the chest and the heart, so I did annotate a little bit. So I'm going to get my highlighter and then I'm gonna get comfy and just hopefully finish this book. Just so reminiscent of things that I felt in past relationships it's comforting in a sense, just to know that the way certain people acted was not because of me, and it's just like healing in a sense reading this, because I don't know, boys are stupid. Boys are stupid. I mean, I haven't even gone to the part to like kind of the reason why that the main male character is acting this way, Rory. I haven't gone to that yet, so maybe that will give some insight on why he's acting the way he is. It's definitely like just it's crazy. Anyway. I just finished Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. This book, I really connected to this book on different levels, and it really shows how complex people's lives are. Like, I have no words. I'm gonna sit on a rating for this because it's definitely between like a 4 and a 5 star, but I did really enjoy it. So just look up trigger warnings like I've said 4 times in this video. Yeah, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for sticking around if you've made it this far in the video, and thank you for just listening to me ramble on all the books that I've read in January and February. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!